There's certain things every prepper should have. I mean, honestly, they must have. These are must-have items. And it blows my mind how many of these items that preppers don't have. This is the good stuff. This is stuff you really, really, really want. Now, do me a favor. Keep track. I want you to keep a little number tally. At the end, put a comment of how many of these things you have. So let's go through it. 24 things that you should have, every prepper should have. Number 1 is called the SAS Survival Guide. Fantastic book. I mean, it's small enough to put into a backpack, which I do, bug out bag, get home bag. But it is chock full of every possible survival scenario thing you can do. It is number 1, and it's number 1 for a reason, because it's incredible. Number 2 is called moleskin. This is a really weird roll of it, but moleskin usually has a felt on there. If you do any type of hiking, backpacking, bugging out, etc., and you start getting blisters, moleskin is what you want. And by the way, I'll link this stuff below. The moleskin you just put on so that way it covers up the blister so you don't wear your foot away. Of course, your feet are gone. You're not going anywhere. Number 3 is called a driveway alarm. This is just the actual sensor. The one I'll link to you actually has 2 sensors plus a receiver. They're all battery operated. They're completely wireless. We take them backpacking. So if you have to bug out, for example, we use them around our chicken house, all kinds of things. You put them out there. And the motion detector will signal radio frequency signals to your receiver and lets you know if something's nearby. And it's super loud too, by the way. Number 4, super glue. I think a lot of preppers know about this, but it works fantastic, not just for gluing things, but for gluing cuts. You know, in the ER, we used medical grade super glue. Go ahead and use that terminology for it. But this is stuff you're going to have, you're going to want to keep because it has all kinds of uses. And number 5 is called a Biolite. If you plan on doing any off-grid cooking, problem solved. This Biolite runs on twigs and even pine cones. It has a blower that gets it going, gets the fire going, and makes it burn as a rocket stove. Then when it gets going, it'll pull out electricity to charge your devices. We've been using them for well over 10 years, and absolutely love them. We have a bunch of them. Number 6 is a sewer plug. I talk about this on the channel quite often. Let me show you what it looks like. Basically, it's just a little plug that expands. It's got a little cord in case you want to pull it back out again. I also have an adapter with mine. Again, I'll link these below. That way you can either A, blow this up using an air compressor, or this adapter allows you to blow it up using a regular bicycle air pump. And what happens is this. If there's a grid down situation and you live in a town or a city, those sewage treatment plants require power. Power goes away. It literally could and will start backing up sewer into the town. And if your house is low enough, you'll have everybody in the neighborhood's raw sewage coming in through your drains. So basically you have one pipe that leaves your house. It usually has a fitting on it. You open up that fitting, drop this in there, blow it up, and it expands and makes it so it shuts off all the sewage so it cannot backflow into your house. Sewer plug, absolutely a huge thing, especially if you're on like some type of town or city sewage. Number 7 is a bivy. More specifically, a tactical bivy. And these things are amazing. Really small, lightweight, and compact. Keep them in backpacks, get home bags, etc. And this will turn into basically any type of little shelter, any type of little blankets you need. And a lot of people think they're just one-time use. Not at all. You can actually use them in multiple uses. I don't take it out because it's like trying to fold it and put it back in again. Good luck with that. It's like a tent, you know what I'm saying? It doesn't go back in the original bag ever. So the tactical bivy is something you're going to want to have. It's a great for an emergency situation. Number 8 are flashlights. Not just flashlights, but flashlights that don't require any type of batteries. I have for the adults, we have a little dynamo-driven crank flashlight. I recommend one of these. Works really well. This one actually has a solar panel on it too, so that way you can, don't have to crank all the time, but put it in the sun. It has a little clip, so you can clip it on your belt. But for kids, I recommend getting a squeeze light. This also works very well. In fact, this actually has an initial on it because it belongs to one of my little kids. We always have, all our kids have these, and it's really easy for them to squeeze. Then, of course, they have a flashlight because kids, of course, as you know, are notorious for turning on flashlights, leave them on, and killing the batteries. And with these, at least, they'll have to basically recrank them back up again. Number 9 is a tourniquet. But you don't want just a tourniquet. You want a CAT tourniquet. It's a combat application tourniquet. And you want to get a really good one because you don't want the tourniquet to break. But, tourniquets in the past weren't like these CAT ones. These are fantastic. Of course, you're going to be talking about some kind of extremity bleed. We'll take care of that for you. Number 10 is called a YoYo fishing reel. Mine's down in my tackle box. In some states, they're illegal, by the way. But this fishing reel, you literally hook it to like a tree, throw the other end of the water and walk away, and it will automatically reel in the fish when you catch it. This is the perfect prepper's item. Number 11 is a dental kit. I think this costs less than $10, has all kinds of different like little picks. I'm not a dentist, things you can use. I do this though, however. I actually use it to clean my own teeth now like a dental hygienist, and my dental hygienist laughs and she's like, you caught on to our trick. It's really easy to do. But having something like this could be seriously advantageous. Crap, it's the fan. If you can't get to a dentist, this may have exactly what you need. Number 12 is an Israeli dressing. Fantastic invention. It's not simply just a bandage. When Israeli dressings have clips and everything on there and makes it so it can really compress really well, obviously developed by the IDF in Israel, an incredible thing. You should not have a medical kit without one of these. Israeli dressing is top notch. Number 13 is one of my favorite things, is a tactical pen. I love my tactical pen. And I've taken it numerous times through TSA in the airport, and they've never stopped me. I heard they're getting a little more strict now, so there's a possibility that they may take it. I think it's only like $6 anyway. It's really inexpensive. But obviously, writes like a pen. I carry one of these with me, of course, other stuff too, wherever I go. And a lot of times, if I need to sign something, I'll pull it out and use it. People always say, wow, look at that cool pen. On the other side, they have what's called a glass breaker or ice breaker, sometimes called. But basically, it's the tactical part. This would be extremely painful nailing somebody with this. So having this as a weapon, as a pen. And that's what people will tell you, by the way. I had security stop me once and say, what is this? And I'll say, it's my pen. What kind of pen is it? He wanted me to say a weapon. I'll say, it's the pen that writes. He was like, fine. You probably want to keep it himself, you know what I'm saying? But have your tactical pen. Next up, when it comes to tactical, you want to make sure you have some knuckles, some plastic McDonald's knuckles. I'm completely kidding. My son, as a joke, made some knuckles, McDonald's knuckles, Golden Arch. Okay, anyway, I think it's funny. Instead, how about some tactical gloves? I love my tactical gloves. I take them pretty much. I always have some around with me. I shouldn't say I take them everywhere I go. But in the wintertime, I wear them quite often. But not only are they warm, but of course have the knuckles on here. And the knuckles, they say they're to guard your knuckles. Yeah, for guarding your knuckles when you're punching someone. And I mean, there's a lot of techniques you could do for elbowing. It works better than punching anyways. But if you're going to punch, have some tactical gloves. This works very well for you. And then number 15, you want to make sure you have a quality, ready for this, gas mask. So here's my gas mask that I keep. I have it opened up for this video. I want to tell you, though, when it comes to gas masks, it's not simply just having a good gas mask. Yes, you should. And I recommend going to MIRA for your gas mask. They are fantastic. And I'll link it below along with everything else. And this is the place to get it from. They have all the replacement cartridges and everything else you need to be able to keep going. I mean, they have mop suits and stuff. MIRA is fantastic. Next up, we have a crank radio. Specifically, this crank radio is from one of our sponsors, American Reserves. I love this radio. We've got a bunch of crank radios, by the way, a lot of them. This one's nice. It actually has stereo, sounds really good, has solar on it, so you don't have to use just cranking. And of course, I always recommend having a solar generator to plug it in too. But I love this radio from American Reserves. Next up is a Geiger Counter. Let me pull mine out. I've talked about this on the channel so many times. I love my Geiger Counter. It is inexpensive compared to a lot of other units, and for prepping, this is all you need. And you're looking at around $100, a little bit more to get this thing. And I use it, I actually have radioactive sources I test it with. It's really a fantastic unit. And of course, I recommend the case for it too, so that way it doesn't get broken or lost. Next up after that is a ham radio. Here's my Baofeng ham radio. I love these. We actually buy these as a set, so we have two of them. At the very least, without your ham radio license, you can use them as walkie-talkies. Has scanners, you can listen to your local police. And in emergency situations, you can actually use it on the frequencies that normally you wouldn't be able to without a license. But even getting a license for it is really easy, guys. So study, get your license, get the ham radios. These are really inexpensive. Then we also have from American Reserves a bunch of different types of Faraday products specifically. Everything from protecting your home, protecting your car. It's a peace of mind knowing these things will not get trashed during an EMP. And the different units they have are neat. This one specifically plugs into the little computer aspect of your car. All kinds of really good stuff come from American Reserves. Next up, this is something I haven't shown on the channel before, is a doorstop alarm. Really neat. I have it turned off. It's super loud. But I talk about all the time you want to fortify your house. And I always say that go ahead and have deadbolts and security plates and stuff on your door. People will still get through. So having this on the floor, I mean, even if you have like a little kid in the house, you want to keep them out of a certain room, works great. But with this by the door does get open, beep, it's going to hit it and set off alarm and let you know. Fantastic device. We also have a seed vault. Yeah, I do have one of these little packs. I think I got it from Amazon a while back, but I do recommend, instead of necessarily buying this, it was inexpensive. You could buy this too. Buying seeds for your area. Like up here in Michigan, we get all our seeds locally from MI Gardener because they're seeds that have actually grown up here in Michigan. I don't want to get a certain variety that grows well, and like in the South, like in Georgia, for example, it may not do so well up here. So make sure you get your seeds for your area, or possibly pick up some different types of seed vaults. We also have a life tent. This is great. Now, this is not like one of those like dome tents and things like that. It does have openings on both ends, but it works very well in keeping the elements off your head. And that's what you want for a tent, by the way. If people in their mind think that a tent should make it so it completely surrounds you, and they think for some reason it's going to protect you from people coming to your campgrounds, like two-legged predators or bear, for example, that's a bad idea because all those things will go right through your tent. This makes it so it keeps the rain and everything off your head. It's nice and light, keep it in a pack, but also makes it so you can still be aware of your surroundings is what you want in those situations. Then finally, good old duct tape. Duct tape, of course, has all kinds of uses. Very good. On that note, I'm going to refer you down to this video, which will go through all the really amazing things of duct tape. By the way, don't shut it off yet. This video is so funny. It's a great video my daughters did talking about all the uses of duct tape. It's really good stuff. So go ahead and check out that video, guys, and we'll see you next time.